morning, guys. Today we are going to talk about solving different examples using C string and string libraries. So I am in slide number 2. We will talk about more examples, as I said, using string and C string. If you remember, we have said before that C string library was inside C language. Then the C string library was migrated to C++. And in C++ now we have two libraries, the C string and the string. So inshallah today we will just explain to you some examples and explain to you how to use this function or how to use these functions or these methods or these built-in function inside our programs. Now I am in slide number 3. Slide number 3. This is we have talked about this slide later previously. Sorry. But I want to remind you by some function in order not to forget this function. First of all, strcpy. I am now in slide number 3, guys. If the slide is frozen, anyone of you can tell me that the slide is frozen. Okay? Okay. I am now in slide number 3.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Yes. If it's frozen, please tell me. We have strcpy. This one copy the value from the source string to the target string here. Okay. These functions are in C strings, in C string function. And also we have strcat. This one concatenate two strings together and join or connect this string to this string. Okay. strlen return the length of the function, as integer value without counting the null character or the string terminator here. And also we have strcmp. This function returns 3 values, compare two strings together and returns 3 values. If they are equal, this function will return 0. If the first one is greater than the second one, a value greater than 0 will be returned. If the first one is less than the second one, a value less than 0 will be returned from this function. Now the question is, can we mix these functions together and use and write them in one statement? Yes. It's just like math. We can write our formula or use our function in one line. Okay, in one. If you like to separate them and put the returned value inside variable, that would be okay. If you want to use them directly, each function can be inside another function. It's up to you the way you will write the function. Okay. So these functions are in the C string. Now I will go to slide number 4 just to compare between them. We have passed by this slide before, But in order to remind you how to use the string and C string, I am now in slide number 4. Here we are comparing between the string and C string. The first one is for C string and the second for string. This is how we are defining C string value. It's just like array of character. And here we can use the word string directly and use the double quotes to define a string. For the length here, we use strlen, and here we are using s1.length. Okay. For copying y to x, we use strcby. Okay. And here we just assign two variables as normal together. In this statement, I am putting S1 value inside S2. For compare, if you remember, as we have said, we are comparing two strings together. If they are equal, we will return 0 or a value less or a value greater than. And in the string, I will use, or I can use s1.compare. So if s1 is less than s2, I will return a value less than 0. If s1 equal to s2, I will return a value, I will return 0. And if s1 is greater than s2, I will return a value greater than 0. So here we have compare, don't forget this. And here we have str compare. Now here I can, if I want to print a value at a certain index, I will use at or the index because I am dealing with array. In the C string, as you know, I am dealing with array of character. So I can use this. In that case, I am printing the character at index 2. That means I am printing the third character, the third one, okay? Because we start from 0. Now, in the second column here, I am printing the value. I'm printing the value at this location. So I use the word at. Okay. This one is working like this one. Now for reading, I can use cn.get or cn.getLine. It's the same. Yes, Abdullah.
No, I was want to change my name.
Okay, no good. So cn.get or cn.getLine. In reading the here, in reading the string with spaces, we can use getLine cn my name. So I will take the value from the keyboard and put it here inside this variable. Now for printing the value, we have the same option, cout. And here we define array of string. If you remember, we need in C string 2-dimension array. And here we have only 1-dimension array. So if you are dealing with character and you want to deal with character, you might use C string. Okay. If you are dealing with a string or list of string, it's better to use 1-dimension array of type string, 1-dimension array. But in the array of character, if you are going to deal with array of character, of course you are going to deal with 2-dimension array here. and each array or each row represents one word or one name. In our example here, each row represents one name, one name. So this is the main differences between them. Now the question is, can I use this one and this one in the same program? Yes, I can. I can include them both. It depends. It depends on my problem. I can include them both. Don't forget this. I can include them both. So this is just some different. These are some differences between string and VS and C string. Don't forget that I can include them and use them together. If you want to use list of string myself, I prefer to use this one, not this one. If I am going to deal with character, I can use both. Now there are some function here are exist here and not exist here. For example, to upper is alpha is upper, whatever. There are some function in this library exist here, and there are another function here are not exist here. Now, as a developer, you don't have the ability to memorize انك تحفظ all these libraries and all of these functions. This is not our purpose. Our purpose for exams to memorize نحفظ الاختبار. But you as a developer, you have the tools, I will clear this. You have the tools, هي الفانكشن هي التولز اللي عندك, and you should know how to use them. How to use them. So to use them, because during your studying in the university here, you will how to use them, because during your studying in the university, you will learn a lot of language, maybe 4 to 5 language, and it is very difficult to you to memorize all of this library and all of these functions. For the exam, it's okay, but in the real life, it's so difficult for you. So once you need a function, you will search for this function. Search for this function, and you should know how to use it. So if you want to learn Java, print the help for Java and read the function. Okay. If you want to learn C++ more and you want to learn or study more libraries and more functions, print the libraries and read them. But you will not have the ability to memorize them. يعني انك تذكرهم صعب والحفظ صعب, فقط الاختبار. You will find that in the real life you might use a function 2 weeks ago. This suppose that I have used function this day. After 2 weeks, you will discover that you forgot it, because you are using a lot of function, and you need to search again and find it, or you need to copy or look for your code and copy the function again in order to know how to use this function. So you, as I have said, you have the tools, and you should know how to use these tools or this function to fix your machine. Okay, if you have the tools and you don't have how to fix the machines, for example, that means there's no benefit from these tools. So you should know how to use these tools to fix your problem, or you should know how to use this function to solve your problem or the to solve or fix any program, either in C++ or Java or Python, whatever. Okay. So now we have some example here. I will go through them, inshallah, so that we make sure you will understand, or at least you will know how to use some function quickly, inshallah. Now I will go to slide number 1, sorry, to slide number 5, sorry. This is our first example, and this is example number 1. Here a company asks their employees to create emails. Their emails will be considered valid if the following conditions are met. Okay. The first condition, email should contain at, email should contain dot. Unfortunately, employees do mistakes and they are not able to check their emails. We need to implement a program to check if their email or emails are valid or not. So we want to check if the email is containing or contains at or dot. Okay. Now, what do you think, guys? How we are going to fix this? How we are going to fix this? Anyone can tell me how we can solve this using, first of all, C string? Just give me an idea if you can. I will just stop share and share in order to use the drawing tool. I am not able to use it now. So I will stop share for a few seconds and share again. Think about this, how I am going to search for specific character inside the string. Just I will stop share for seconds and share. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to search for a character inside an email. Inside an email. What do you think? How I'm going to search inside character? Inside a string for a specific character. If you remember, if you have defined a C string or array of character, you are dealing with separate character inside array. So what you are going to do is search for this character. You are going to use a for loop and search for at and search for dot. So any search process inside any array need two things. Need for and need if. Any searching process. If you are going to search inside an array, you need to go over the array elements until and use if condition to check if you have found the value or not. If you have found the value or not. So for our example here, we are going to use C string, inshallah. We are going to solve it using string and C string. We are going to solve this example using string and C string. There is no big difference actually, but we want we want to let you know that it is okay to use both libraries, and you have the way you want. You can select the way you want, okay, or the easiest one, but focus always in simplicity. ركز على الأبسط، لا تركز دائما على الأعقد. focus on simplicity. Okay, simplicity. على الأبسط. Don't try to focus to make your code complex. Try to make it simple as much as you can. As much as you can. So now here we have C string and we have here the string library. So now I will go to the code, how we are going to search for at and dot, and I will use some Boolean flags, some flags, in order to solve this problem. Now I am in slide number 11 here. For slide number 11, I have defined an array. Okay.
دكتور احنا في slide 6.
Sorry, I am now in slide 6. Yes, sorry. I don't know why I have said 11. Maybe because of the length of the email here. The length of the array. I have read this. Yes, we are in slide number 6 here. Here I have defined my string. Here is array of character. Okay. And I have read the value here. Now I have defined here some flags. Why I have did this, we will see later. The first flag has at equal false. So I have assumed that the email does not has any ats inside it, has at equal false. And I have defined also another variable called has dot. Also I have assumed, I have assigned it to false, so that I have assumed at the beginning that the email does not have at and does not have dot. So if I ask you to search for something, you will assume in your mind that these things are not exist. And based on that, you will do your search process. So search, if you are going to search for something, in your mind, you will assume that these things are not exist. But if you are sure that they are exist and inside the array or inside the paper, you will not do the search process at all because you are sure that they are exist. But this is how a human mind think. Okay, you assume that they are not exist in order, and then you will start searching here. As you can see here, I started from I equals 0 to I less than 10, I plus plus, and I have done my comparison here, or my searching. So I have 4 and I have F. So when I equals 0, I will search for the first character. Is it equal at? Has at will be true. And if the first character, or if the first character equal dot, then has dot equal true. So let's suppose that we have this array here. We have here at, and we have here dot. So I am searching, now I equal 0, still false, now I equal 1, the variable is still false. Now when I equal 2, this one has at will become true when I is 2, because we have here at. That's good. I will complete my search process. If email of I equal dot is still true, it's still false, sorry, here, false, here on index number 4, this is 3 and this is 4 and this is 5. Here is the dot. Yes, I have a dot here. I have a dot here, then has dot will become 2. Now, why I did not just simply print C up here and here? because it does not make sense to print the result before finishing the for. If you find more than one add, this statement will be printed many times. So here we will print missing add, then add is exists. So this is not a search process. I will print the values or the result on the screen for any search process always after the for. I should print the values of our or the results of my search process after the for, because I want to print it once, either exists or not. So after exiting the for here, I have I have written my if here. If has at equal false, then I have written here missing at. I have written also another if has dot equal false. I have if these are still equal false, then I will write the email is missing dots, missing a dot. So on the output, I might write missing at if there is no at, and if there is no dot, I will write print out on the screen the missing dot. Here we have f, sorry, n missing dot. Now if has at equally true and has dot equally true, I will print the screen email is created successfully. So if both these if both character or symbol are exists inside my email, I will print email is created successfully. So here I have used the flag, and based on my flag, I have a print on the screen the result. And these flags and this if statement were put out of the for that I am using for searching, out of this for. And based on that, I have changed the flag here. So this is the first way of using array of character. Now my question, guys, my question, why I didn't write here else and here else and here else؟ ليش ما كتبت هنا else if why I didn't write else if? Can anyone tell me why؟ يلا شباب. ليش ما كتبت if else if؟ ليش كتبت if like this? Why I have written this condition this way? What is the difference in other words, what is the difference between writing if or if else if؟ شو الفرق بينهم؟ كيف بيشتغل هذا الكود وكيف بيشتغل هذا الكود؟
The first one may be both of them be right.
Both of them will be run. راح يتنفذوا اثنين.
Yeah. The second one
yes, that's who answered?
Abdulaziz.
Abdulaziz, yes. Writing here the F here, one of them here, I will pass through all of them. F. Whatever, if this false or true, I will go to the second one and the third one and so on. But here, if this is true, I will not go here. I will go here if this one is false. If this one is not executed, I will go to the else. وإلا معناها يعني إذا هذا صحيح خلاص، وإلا إذا كان خطأ روح على هذا إذا صحيح خلاص. But if this is false, go to this. So here it is not necessary to go all to pass through all of these. Okay. في حالة إنه هذا كان خطأ If it's wrong here, I will go to the else if. If this is wrong, I will go to the other else if. But in that case here, in the first one here, I will go to all if because they are separated statements, separate statements. And this is what I need in my program. I need to go and check this and check this again. Okay. So this is what we are, this is the difference between if and if else here. This I want to pay your attention for this. And this is, as you can see, my search process. Now the second equation here, if I have used string here, and I have defined, instead of this, I have defined a string email. String email, like this. And I want to deal with this character. يعني أنا بدي أدور في السترينج هذا على الآد أو الدو. Can I do my for loop here? If I didn't define array of character like this, if I didn't define array of character like this, and I have defined a string directly, string email, and I want to search for add and dot here inside this string. Can I do this using for loop? يلا هذا second question. Can I do this? What do you think, guys?
I think yes, Doctor.
Yes, that's great. Yes. So in both ways, I can deal with the string. In both ways, I can deal with the string as array of character. It's up to you. If you want to deal with them as an array, that's okay. If you have used charmail, you have to deal with this in all cases as an array. But if you have defined it as string here, also you can consider this array of character and use a for loop to deal with it. Okay, don't forget these things. Okay, so in C++, in the original or as known, it's familiar to deal or to consider any string is array of character. And string is array of character. Now I will go to the next one. In this example, I have used string. I have used array of character here. Okay. Now I will go to my next slide number 7. Slide number 7 here. And I have here defined, as you can see, I have used string. I am now in slide number 7, the same example, but I have used, as you can see here, string, where's the word here, string, instead of array of characters. So I have defined the string email, then I have printed out on the screen, enter your email, I have read the value, then I have defined my Boolean function. So here we have the same logic, except I have used string here, and I have included the string. I have also used here email dot length. So in the first example, I can use strlen. It's okay. strlen in the C string, and here I can use email dot length. And I have did my search here. And when instead of dealing with this array as array element, I have used the function add. So I have checked if email add 0 equal add, then if email add 1 add 2, add 3. Here we add indexes, and I have used the word add here. And based on that, I printed out on the screen the results here. I have printed out on the screen the results. So don't forget here the differences include string using for loop dot length also, because you have defined the string here, you will use dot length. But if you want to use strlen, you need to include the C string. I will repeat again. If you want to use strlen, you need to include the C string. Here I have only included string. Then I have iterate the email using the method .length, and I have used at here. Okay. So this is our first example. I have searched for this. Now what I'm going to talk about is important, not because the code is difficult, but I want to focus on the concept I have talked about previously, which is complexity and simplicity. We want to make sure that our code is simple before trying to make it complex. And of course, it should be working. So now I will go to this one. I am now in slide number 8 here. We will continue with our example here. Our example that to check if our email is valid or not. Read the slide, please. Administrator found that some employees made mistakes and did not enter the domain gov correctly. So he asked developer to solve this problem. So you will write the algorithm here and BCD code, search for the related function or method, enhance the previous code. So now we discover that our program is not does not solve the problem, and some of the employees forgot to enter the domain gov. So we are going to enhance our program because it is a development. If you remember what I have said in our first lecture, we are developing our programs. I cannot cover all the cases from the first time. With experience, you will cover them. So if this will take you maybe 1 week to solve this program, second time you will solve it in 1 hour. Okay, because you have experience. So now we are going to solve this problem, to check if the email contains the word gov or not. I will leave the algorithm and BCD code for you. Search for the related function or method. To be honest with you, I don't know the function or the method here used for searching for a part of a word, but I have searched for this method and I find it. I have searched for this method and I found it. As I mentioned before, when you want to use something, search for simple thing before try to think in a complex way. After the example, I will try to explain to you what do I mean by complex way and the simple way. Here, of course, I am using the simple. I will use the simple way, and I want to pay your attention for something, or I want to draw your attention for something here. I have searched for the method. I forgot this method actually, and I have searched for this method. So it is not about memorizing, only for the exam you need to remember these, but in the real life you have to search for libraries and you search for methods. So now we are going to enhance the previous program or the previous application. I will go now to slide number 9. Just give me seconds. As you can see here, I have used string. Now I am in slide number 9. And I have frozen. Give me seconds. So now I am in slide number 9 and I am going to search for a sequence of character or a word. Now here I cannot draw actually, but I can move this pencil here. I have defined const string domain and I have put inside the DOM go. And this is what I have explained previously. Enter your email, and I have defined some flags. Also, I have added extra flag here called has correct domain equal false. Has correct domain. As you can see here, how I have make the first letter in the second word in the other words capital correct domain. This is standard, okay? Standard thing. If you make all of them in small letter, this will not generate or cause syntax error, but the standard is to make the variable in the first word of each variable of each letter capital. And this is standard code. Here false. Now here I have checked based on the email.length, I have checked the character. And based on that, I have changed the flag. Now here is the new code. I want to check if the email contains this part. So I want to check if the email contains DOM, which DOM we have assigned the word gov to DOM. So here I am searching for inside the email if there is a bar of the email contains DOM. That means find ابحث إذا كان الإيميل بيحتوي على DOM. I have searched for this method. Okay, I forgot it actually. So now I will search if there is a bar called if this function find return -1, that means there is no DOM bar does not exist inside the email. So I have used a method called find, and this exists inside the string library. I did not build any function. This is a built-in function. Already exists inside the string. Then I have written here invalid domain. I have checked if the email does not contain the word DOM. I have written here on the screen invalid domain or email should contain the word gov here. Else I have إذا كان هذا البارت موجود, this part exists here, I have changed the boolean flag here has correct domain to true. So إذا كان مش موجود خلاص هنا طبعت على الشاشة. لاحظ إنه هذا خارج الفور. This if the statement check the domain not inside the for. It's outside my for loop here. My for loop. So we have a method called find. Okay. And find here will return -1 if the bar, this part is not exist inside this one, the bigger one. So if this exists and this if the domain exists, I will go to the else part, and I will write here, I will change the flag to correct domain. After that, I went here to my if statements. I have checked if has add then equal false, then I will print on the screen missing. And if has dot equal false, I will print missing dots. And finally, I have checked if true and has correct domain equally true. I will print on the screen email is created successfully. So what we should have, what we should learn from this, it is not in the slide, okay? I have searched for it. It's maybe not in the book. Maybe the book is old, okay? You will find a lot of sites like the Greeks and Google and Stack Overflow, a lot of sites for programming, okay? Maybe I think or I believe a lot of you have searched inside these sites. So we have the word find. Okay, this is the first one. The second one, important concept that I will mention again, was complexity. You know, if you want to search for a part inside a word, it is not that easy. If you want to write your code here instead of the word find, it would be too difficult for you. Now I will explain to you why. I will explain to you why this is too difficult. I will stop share and share in order to draw because I am not able to draw. Just give me seconds to share and stop share. Stop share and share to explain to you why searching inside a pattern is too difficult for you and for me actually. Now I'm back in slide number 9. If I want to search for a part inside a word, let's say that I have is the same example G-O-G-O-B. This is O, huh? G-O-G, go. Now I want to search for the word go here inside this array. And this suppose that I don't have this one. Now, if I didn't search for this one, I will use the complex way. The complex way, I will take the first character, G. Then I will concatenate or join it with the second character. Okay? Then I will concatenate it with the third character, George. Then I will check the length. إذا كان اللينث 3 I will check هل GOG equal GOG؟ لا خطأ. Wrong. Okay? So I will say this is not exist. Then what should I do then? I will start from the next one. I will search for O concatenated with the second. Here starting from the second one is O. I will concatenate it with Joe and O. Then I will search for this. After concatenating, I will check the length. Each time I concatenate character or join character, I will check the length. If the length is equal 3, I will search for go. Does it equal? No, it is not equal. Then I will start from G here. I will concatenate it GO. GO equal gov? No. Is the length of this string equal 3? No. Then I will put V. Is the length equal 3? Yes. I will check. Hal gov equal gov? It is true. It is true. This is how the find work. It's not easy actually. How is the find work? It's not easy to implement this code. You can implement this, but you are wasting time. Wasting time. And make it difficult for you, difficult, complex, and for the other developer, if they are going to read your code. Okay, you did a great job. Oh, wallah, it's too clever. You are clever. You have did this one. You did your better match. But there's a function. The one who is responsible for you, he will tell you that you have this function. Why you didn't use this function? Why you have thought like this way? I didn't ask you to invent a code. Okay? I want you to solve the problem. The customer needs this problem to be solved within 1 or 2 days. And you maybe spend 3 or 4 days to write this while we have this function here inside C++. So this is actually important concept. Why my professor told me about this when I was a university student, and now I am telling you as a lecturer here. Just please simplify. Try to find the simplest way before writing your code. Okay. This is actually very important. Very important. So instead of going through this and find the pattern, you know this is 1, 2, 3. You have the word find. خلاص done. Everything is done. Don't invent the wheel. في ناس بقول لك إذا أنت you want to invent a car, don't invent the wheel. I don't know if you have. Do not invent the wheel. ما تخترع الويل. اوكي؟ العجل يعني للسيارة، العجل موجود، ليش تخترعه مرة ثانية؟ هذا يعني قاعدة موجودة في أي لغة سواء كنت if you were a database administrator, if you are a developer, if you are a web designer, there are a lot of new built-in libraries, built-in packages, either in programming or designing or database. So don't try to start everything from scratch. Okay. No, try to use anything available in order to make life easier for you as a developer or as a designer or as a database administrator. Okay, now I will go to next slide, and it is easy, inshallah. Here we have student emails in Imam Abdulrahman University. We are going to use concatenate string. Student email in Imam Abdulrahman University, as you know, ends, now I am in slide 10, ends with ieu.edu.sa. We are going to concatenate هذا الإيميل بنتي في هذا الفكرة. Any employee needs your help, or need you to help to generate list of emails based on a given list of ID. عندك ID والموظف طلب منك I need their emails. I need to concatenate them based on concatenate their IDs with this part. Write a C+ program to solve and generate emails based on a given list of ID. So what we are going to do is write a program to generate emails based on the IDs, to generate emails based on the ID. Are you with me, guys? May? Okay.
Yes, Doctor.
That's good. I will go to slide number 11 now, just to show you the code here. It's just screenshots. Thank you here. I have here, as you can see, defined two arrays, one for the IDs and the other for the emails. And I have defined the size, entered the size, and based on the size, I have defined the IDs and mail arrays. And as you can see, they are of type string, and I have also included the string library. Of course, they will have the same size, so as you can see here, they will have the same size. Now I asked the program or the user to input IDs or names, whatever. But so here, C out enter student ID. Then I have written my for loop to read the IDs and put them inside the array of strings. So here I am entering IDs and put these IDs inside the array in this one. This for loop, the first for loop for entering for reading the value here. هنا أنا فقط بعبي في الارray نفس الاسسمنت اللي ارسلنا لكم اياها. You have to fill the values. اوكي انا ما عبيتها، يعني انت لازم تعبيها الاسسمنت number. You have to fill here. I have filled the array or the array of string by IDs, maybe 111, 222, whatever. Array of string 333, any IDs you want. After that, I did my concatenation here inside the email. If you remember, we have the plus here to concatenate with a string in an individual, joining or concatenate. And if you like to use str concatenate, that would be okay. Now here I can use IDs of, now I am taking the number of IDs, concatenate them with this value, and put them again inside this array emails. After that, here, what would happen in the array here? Now 111, suppose the first ID will be 111 at IU.A, here الإيميل وهنا الIDs. Just I concatenate them. Then here we have 333 at or whatever, and so on. I am just concatenated them. Then I have printed them here on the screen. I have printed them on the screen. So this is how the concatenating happens. Myself, I prefer to use string, not C-string, because I'm going to deal with list of IDs or list of emails. So I don't want to go through the two-dimension array. Okay, I used one-dimension array and I have used the package string. Is this clear, guys? Or shall I go to the next one? Next slide. Clear? Okay, it's not difficult. Thank you. I will go to now to slide number 12. This one is a good example actually here. Example 5, character encoding. We are going to encode some character as just, it is a simple example for password encoding. First of all, the password should consist of 9 characters. Convert the letter case. If it is capital, it should be converted to small, and if the character is small, it should be converted to capital case. Convert them to its successive 5 letters. So if the letter is A, it will become F. If A is small, it will become F capital. And if A, the first character, is a capital, it will be converted to F small. Then we will reverse the password. نعكس كلمة السر. Reverse the password. So let's take a look at this one. If this is the password, if this is the passwords here, it will be first of all reverse. So A here at the last will become here, will be at the beginning. So it is just like of a type or kind of encoding. راح تكون هنا في البداية. طيب هذه small نحولها ل +5. تحولت من A كانت في الأخير صارت في الأول. It was converted from A to F. It was a small letter, then it converted to capital letter. It was converted to capital letter. Now, just to make things easier for you, we have added the following questions. What are the built-in functions that we are going to use in this example? We are going to use in this example. Here, what are 3? يلا شباب, don't go to next slide, just think about this. What are the other functions that we are going to use here? First of all, we need to do 3 things. Change from capital to small or from small to capital. Then we are going to add it or convert it to its successive 5 to the 4th character after it, to the 5th, sorry, character after it. So if it is A, it will be F. If it is B, it will become H, and so on. Now, here, we are asking what are the built-in functions that we are going to use. طيب. Before asking this question, are we going to deal with this character by character or as a whole string? شو رأيكم؟ نتعامل معه character ولا كهول ككلمة واحدة؟ Character, yes. Character here. So we are dealing with this character. Okay. Character صحيح. فأنا الآن راح أحكي لكم شو function راح نستخدمها. I will go to slide 13 here. Sorry for this. We are going to use strlen to check the length of the string. Okay. I will use cstring here. Then I will use the following. Is lower, and we are going to use 2 lower and 2 upper. strlen return the length of string. Is lower, check if the character is in a small case or not. 2 lower, convert the character to small case or to small letter. 2 upper will convert character to upper case. So we are going to use the following function. Now we have the tools. Okay, and الأدوات. We should know how to use these tools and fix our machine. Or we have the function, so we should know how to use these functions. Now I will go directly to the code. then don't forget is our هذا زي برجع true or false. هذا like boolean function. هذا برجع لك true أو false. ولور هذا بيعمل convert بحول. اوكي مثل التحويل اللي عملتوه ذاكرين. يو ريمبر الفانكشن اللي انتم عملتوه السؤال في الاكزام اللي بيحول بيشتغل نفس هذه الطريقه. باخذ كاركتر وبزيد الاسكي. بنقص الاسكي او بزيده تو ابر. بنقص الاسكي اي ثينك وتو لور بزيد الاسكي. نفس اللي عملتوه انتم. هذا بيلد ان فانكشن موجود في السي بلس بلس. ذا سيم. الزلور هذا بيعمل تشيك على الكاركتر. بشوف الاسكي كود ببساطه يعني. إذا كان الاسكي كود من إلى بيرجع لك ترو. يعني إذا لور بتكون إذا كان الاسكي كود تاعه lower in the lower case in that case it will return true. If the ASCII code for this character is inside the range for the ASCII code for the small letter character or for small letters inside their range, then this will return true. And this one that I think you have implemented this and you have solved this in I think a quiz and exam and also this. So you can build these functions, but they are already exist. We just gave you this example in order to learn and make sure that you have the ability to build any needed function. But as you can see, these functions are a built-in function and they are exist. I will clear the drawing and go to the code directly. هذا الكود here we have, oh sorry, just I will stop share and share for seconds. In a few seconds inshallah. Just give me a few. I am viewing my screen. Just give me seconds to share again. It is our last example here. Here, now we have three things to do. Reverse. الأول اثنين. Change it to the fifth one from, for example, A to 5 to the fifth successive character. 5, I will write here 5, the word 5 or the number 5. The third thing from capital to small, uppercase to lowercase to lower, or from lower to upper. So, as your colleague answered, we are going to go over these character by character. So I have defined the array here. I have defined two arrays. The one contains the password and the other contains the encoded password here. Then I have read the password here. Just I have printed for debugging. فقط أنا طبعت القيمة عشان أعمل debug وأشوف شو اللي بصير. The length here. Then I have searched first of all for the length because I have forgot that the length of character, the password should be 9. If you have seen the slide, the length of password should be 9. Now, the first idea before I start here. What is better? To convert the password, to convert the letter, and then check the length, or to check the length first before start converting? What do you think, guys? مين الافضل اني انا احول الكاركتر ولا قبل ما ابدا اعمل تشيك على اللينكس للباسورد؟ شو رايكم؟ تشيك صح؟ يعني قبل ما ابدا اصلح الماكينه اتاكد انها شغاله او لا، هيك اتخيلها صح؟ Before I start fixing a machine I will check if it is working or not، لانه الفيكس راح ياخذ مني وقت. طيب انا قبل ما ابدا اغير في الباسورد هي، هذا الميك سنس فور مي. قبل ما ابدا اغير هنا وهنا وادخل بفور لوب وكذا والى اخره، خليني اشيك على اللينث اول. فشيكت اذا اللينث فيرست اوف اول لا is not equal 9، طبعت له على الشاشه خلص password should contains 9 character. اذا مش 9، اذا equal 9 بدخل هنا في الالس. صح؟ هذا يعني this is make sense. If you have check then يعني convert بعدين عملت check لللينك it's okay, but I think it would be better to check the length first. بس انت قاعد تستهلك memory، تستهلك you are consuming RAMs, you are wasting, maybe this will affect the performance of your program, and no need to do this before checking the length first, because you maybe this will cause to you are using, as I have said, RAMs, you are consuming the memories, you are using loops and whatever. So don't before that, it does make sense to me and you to check the length. So before I start fixing the machine, I will check if the machine is working or not. So I have checked here the length. If it is not equal 9, خلاص كتبت له password should contains 9 characters فقط. الآن ما بيجي على else part هذا، اتفقنا if else. I will not go to else part until إنه length equal 9. إذا length equal 9, I will start my conversion here. So first of all, I take the character in the both statement and added here 5. That means إذا كان A بده يتحول إلى F، إذا كان مثلا B بده يتحول A B C D E F G بتتحول ل G. هذه النقطة الأولى، هذه بلس 5. النقطة الثانية أنا عرفت هنا like the lab, like what we have done in the lab here. I have defined J and I, and every time بزيد ال I وبنقص ال J بس عشان أعكس. فباخذ الكاركتر I لما ال I 0 بحطه في الموقع 8. بعكس قاعد لما ال I 1 بحطه في الموقع 7. As you can see here إنه ال I بتزيد وال J بتنقص، فأنا كده قاعد بعكس يعني. كأني باخذ الموقع 0 هنا بحطه في 8، والموقع 1 بحطه في 7. هذه فيها الاي وهذه فيها الجي. زي ما انت شايف انا بادئ من الجي 8 والاي كل مره every time I am increasing I and decreasing J. هذا النقطة رقم 3. يعني أول شيء تشيك اللينك، 2 عملنا ريفيرس، 3 زدنا 5. هذه 3 نقاط. الآن بدي أتشيك إذا كان lower، if the character is lower case حوله لأبر، convert it to upper. else يعني إذا كان upper حوله convert it to lower. So if it is in the lower case I will convert it to upper case, and if it is in lower case I will convert it. If it is in upper case I will convert it to lower, and if it is in lower I will convert it to upper. So this is the encoding formula. Okay. Then I have printed on the screen the original one and the encoded one. Just print up. You can increase the complexity of this one. Maybe if it is in lower case اعمل هنا -5 فرضنا. إذا كان upper case اعمل +5 مثلا. ممكن تعقدها شوي يعني. Okay. So in that case we have encoded our character. The main concept from this, or the main idea, is how did I how I did the encoding by using the tools, and knows how to use the tools to solve or fix my problem. So we have the function, and I have used them. I have used strlen. I have used is lower to upper to lower. All of these functions, and I also use the C string. So this is our slides for today. And now, if you have any question,